y'all, welcome to my channel. So today I'm going to be showing you how to get this olive green gold look using mostly drugstore products. If you like this video, please give it a thumbs up and please subscribe to my channel before you leave. So if y'all are ready for this makeup tutorial, then let's get started. Alright, so the first thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to prime my eyelids for my eyeshadow. I'm using the Wet n Wild Photo Focus Concealer in the shade Light Beige. This is a little too dark for me to use as an under eye concealer, but it works perfectly fine as a primer. So I'm just going to blend that in with my little mini sponge. Alright, so then one of the palettes that I'm going to be using today is the Hard Candy Pro Eyeshadow Palette in Rose Gold. So first I am going to try and set that concealer, so I'm going to use the shade Single, and I'm just going to blend that all over my lid. Alright, so then I'm going to go into the shade Sweet Nothing, and I'm going to use that as my transition shade. I'm going to blend that a little bit above the crease. I kind of have a big gap in between my eyelashes and my eyebrows, so I like to go a little bit higher with my transition shade. So we're just going to blend that a little bit above the crease, and I love these eyeshadows. They are so easy to blend. You get so many shades for just 10 bucks. They're really nice. Alright, and then I'm just flicking out the corner just to create a bit of a wing look. So then I'm going to go with the Maybelline City Mini Palette in Urban Jungle. I'm going to go with this deep olive green shade, and I am going to blend that into my crease, so a little bit under that transition shade that we just used. So I will be completely honest, I was not hugely impressed with this palette. Especially this green shade. I felt like it kind of went on patchy. It was really hard to blend out, so y'all saw with that transition shade, it took me like 2 or 3 swipes to completely blend that out, but with this green shade, it's just a little bit more difficult, and the color just was not what I expected. I expected it to be more of a deep green, this more of an olive green. This is kind of more like a forest green. Alright, and then I'm also going to take that kind of on the outer corner, probably like the outer third of the lid. Alright, so then I'm going to go into this kind of shimmery, goldish, bronzy shade, and I am going to put that all over my lid. And again, I wasn't super impressed with this shade either. It just, I don't know, I did wet my brush beforehand, and it just still didn't come out as shimmery as I expected it to be. It also didn't really look to be the color that it was in the pan. In the pan, it looked like it had a little bit of like yellow gold flakes, but on the lid, it looks more like that olive green shade with just a little bit of shimmer in it. Alright, so then in my quest to get a little bit of contrast in shade, I'm going to go with this other shimmery shade that looks a little bit bronzier, and I'm going to try and put that on top, which I think it might have worked out if I hadn't have gone in with that initial shimmer shade, but again, as you can see, this doesn't really do much to show up, and I honestly probably was using the wrong brush. I probably should have used kind of a shading brush. So we're going to really go for it, and we're going to go for this gold shade to bring more of a contrast. So I'm going to grab that with my finger, and I just kind of created a kind of halo eye and put that on the center of my lid. So this shade I did really like. It really showed up. It really gave that dimension that I was looking for. So I am very happy with this shade, with this gold shade in the palette. to warn you guys, I am very much a beginner with makeup. So if my blending skills are not up to par yet, I promise I am working on it. But yes, I got into makeup probably within the last 6 months. So I am watching videos, I am practicing, trying to be as best as I can be, but it is definitely a process. Alright, so then I'm going to go back into the Hard Candy palette and grab this peachy shimmery shade, and that is going to be my inner corner highlight as well as my brow bone highlight. I really love the shimmer shades in the Hard Candy palette. I actually was overall very pleased with the Hard Candy palette, which again is only 10 bucks. I think I paid around $7 for that Maybelline City Mini palette, and got like half the shades that you get with the Hard Candy palette. So definitely Hard Candy is worth your money. I don't know that the City Mini palette is. So like I said, I'm also taking that shade and brow bone highlight. Alright, so there is the eyeshadow look all done. I do realize that the inner corner highlight is better on one side than the other. So I'm going to take the Morphe 35W palette, and because I am super scared of eyeliner, I am going to use that matte black shade to kind of create an eyeliner effect on my eyes instead of using actual eyeliner. So I grabbed the brush that actually came with the Hard Candy palette. I actually really love this brush. I know a lot of people usually don't use the brushes that come with the palette, but this one was really nice. The Hard Candy palette came with 2 dual-ended brushes, and on one side was this kind of eyeliner brush. So I really like it. It puts the shade on very nicely. Yeah, it's very pigmented, this black shade is as well. So then I'm going to take the Essence mascara, the False Lashes. This is the Curl and Define mascara. Love it. It is only $4.99. But honestly, this reminds me a little bit of the Marc Jacobs Velvet Noir mascara, which I got a sample of. I couldn't actually afford to buy that, but to me, it's very comparable, as well as the Monsieur Big from Lancome. So I love this mascara, and it's so affordable. Alright, so there is the final eye look. So I'm going to zoom you guys out and we are going to work on the rest of the face. But I think it turned out pretty well, considering the difficulties I had with the City Mini palette. But yeah, so let's zoom you guys out and we will finish the rest of the face. Alright, so that is the eyeshadow. We're going to finish the rest of the face. So first up, I'm going to use the Makeup Forever Ultra HD Skin Booster Serum. This is a high-end product. I got it as a sample in one of my, I think it was the Birchbox. But I put this on just the places that I get dry, which are kind of on the bridge of my nose and between my eyebrows. So then I'm going to take the Aveeno Positively Radiant Daily Moisturizer. This does have SPF in it. And I'm just going to rub that all over my face. This only has SPF 15. I would recommend getting something that has at least SPF 20. If you're going to actually use it as a sunscreen. But this is what I had on hand, and I'm super poor, so use what we have. And I do realize that I leave a little drop on the bridge of my nose that I did not blend out. We'll get to it. Then I'm going to go in with the Urban Decay, I think this is the Optical Illusion Primer. I love it. I first got a sample of this in my first Sephora Play box, and I fell in love. So I went and I got the Urban Decay Lockdown Travel Duo that also came with the All-Nighter Setting Spray, and it was only like 19 bucks at Ulta. So this is definitely a high-end product, but getting the Travel Duo is a pretty good deal. So I'm just going to blend that on my face. All the parts that do not get dry, so because this is not really a hydrating primer, and it kind of makes my skin flake where it gets dry. So then I'm going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Concealer. This is actually closer to the shade versus the Wet n Wild concealer, so I'm going to put that on my under eyes. I do not wear foundation. I don't really like how it feels on my face, and I don't really want to cover my freckles, so I don't use foundation. I just use concealer and some powder. So we are going to blend that out. I just used a little sponge I actually got on the Wish app. It's not that great, so I don't recommend it, but it works for what it is. Alright, so then we are going to go in with the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. I wear the shade Light Medium, and I'm going to use this to both set my under eyes as well as just all over the face. Like I said, since I don't use foundation, this just will kind of help even out my skin tone. I'm lucky enough to not have anything to cover up most of the time, so that is why I don't wear foundation. Yeah, and whenever I wear foundation, it just feels like I'm wearing makeup. So I kind of like the natural, your skin but better kind of look. So if you guys have any recommendations for foundation that can kind of give me that effect, I would love to hear from you guys. Just leave it in the comment section down below. So then I'm going to use the Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer. You guys all probably know. This is one of the best bronzers. It smells delicious. I don't quite have my right shade. I think the shade that I have is a little too light, but it is I think it's in light, but I'm just going to bronze up the face with that. So then I'm going to go in with the Wet n Wild Color Icon Blush in the shade Pearlescent Pink. This does have a bit of a shimmer to it, but I like shimmery blushes, shimmery bronzers. I usually don't wear blush because I typically have kind of a natural flush, which I've always hated. But I thought I would try it out. And then one of my favorite products is the Essence Pure Nude Highlighter. This is really great at giving both a subtle highlight, but also you can build it to give you kind of more of that blinding highlight. I tend to go more with the subtle highlight, so I just take that on the tops of my cheekbones and curve it around a little to above my eyebrows. But as you can see, I'm building it up a little bit, and you can get more of a blinding highlight with that. And then I also take it down the bridge of the nose. I'm not a huge fan of the little milk mustache on the Cupid's bow, so I don't really do that one. So next we're going to go on to the lips. I have the Wet n Wild Liquid Catsuit. I held up 2 shades because I thought I would mix them, but I'm just going to use the matte lipstick in the shade Rebel Rose. Nudie Patootie was the other shade that I was holding up. I did try and mix them, and it just did not work. It gave me a bit too much of a frosted look. So we are just going to use the shade Rebel Rose. I do like this lipstick. It's a little bit drying, but I think that's kind of how matte lipsticks are supposed to be. Alright, so here is the finished product. I think that considering the difficulties we had with the City Mini palette, I think that it ended up coming out pretty well. This is definitely more dramatic than a look that I usually go for, but thank you so much for watching. Please subscribe to my channel. Like this video if you liked it, and please leave any comments down below. Thank you so much for watching, and I will see y'all in my next video. Bye y'all.